Patty Hajdu now saying that they're going to be launching this investigation into the allegations of unpaid work. And that has been a question in fact, one of our emailers said, John says, if the Canada Labour Code states that no non-paid work is allowed, how have Air Canada and possibly other airlines gotten away with this for so long? We've heard it's an industry standard, Rod. What's your understanding of it?
Well, it is. It's been accepted for years, and the unions have signed contracts for years, which allows this practice to go on. And finally, but that's been true of lots of things. Finally, unions take a stand. The 8-hour 8-hour day used to be what? No way, 10 hours, buddy, 12 hours. Till finally, the union took a stand and fought for 8 hours. In this case, the flight attendants belonging to CUPE at Air Canada has said enough is enough. And this was changing in the industry. This isn't the first dispute. I don't know whether there were disputes, but some airlines have started to recognize this, that it's unfair. And in this case, the union did take a stand and said, we're tired of this and it's got to end. And it looks like they've got a pretty fair deal. Let's go to Scott in Victoria. Scott, you've had a bit of a travel endurance, if we can call it that. What happened to you?
Well, pain and suffering. I mean, Canada's a third world country. I never thought I'd come to this. Planned Portugal, my wife's from there, went with our family and her brother's family. We're there for 3 weeks. About 4 days prior to coming home, flying out of Lisbon, we get notice that Air Canada might have a problem. Anyways, long story short, we're trapped. Air Canada first says, hey, we'll work on it for you. A couple hours later, you get an email saying, good luck, you're on your own. $7,000 later for my family, four adults, out of Lisbon to Helsinki, Finland, 15-hour layover. Of course, it's all on my dime. And then to Seattle, Washington, and then to Victoria. $7,000, 2 days, didn't sleep. So I want to know why we had to book it ourselves. Granted, Air Canada's on strike, so be it. Why couldn't they punch the numbers and book us on a flight? Why did we have to do it and pay out of pocket? I missed work. Everyone's devastated for 3 days. Just a sad scene all the way around. I know I'm not the only one, but it was a hell of a trip to get back to Victoria, let me tell you that.
So my opinion and my take on this is that I think the strike was absolutely uncalled for and not okay. And the disruption to the public and to people who had important flights, some people missed cancer appointments, because of this. The flight attendants knew this was their job when they took it. They went to work knowing how they were going to be paid. So my opinion is, if you don't like how you're being paid where you work, go get a different job. This whole thing is ridiculous to me in a way that I can't even. I mean, you can probably hear it in my voice. Mm-hmm. I am self-employed. Okay, I take dogs to the forest and hike them. I don't get paid to pick up the dogs and drive to the forest. I get paid for the hike, right? The people pay me to hike their dogs. If that's not okay with me, I need to go find a different job. Like, the disruption to people in this was heartbreaking.
Let's go to Val in Vernon. Val, what do you make of the end of the strike?
Well, I'm really glad for travelers that this is, has happened. Travelers get caught in these things so often these days. It seems we're really at a disadvantage. But what really interests me about this is the whole issue of unpaid work and how that contravenes the labor code and why the unions didn't do something about this. Like, I understand this is kind of standard operating practice, by airlines throughout the world, and it's slowly been changing, but I really don't understand why the union didn't do something about this and signed a 10-year agreement agreeing to this. that ended in March. So I'm very interested in CBC reporting the results of the investigation. I'm really glad the federal government has ordered a look at this, because it's not just Air Canada. WestJet does this, and other airlines do this. So, what's going on, right? And travelers, again, getting caught in the middle of these two parties trying to figure out, how to proceed. So,
Val, really appreciate your call. Val and Vernon calling us. We're going to get another call in just a moment. But Rod Mickleburgh, interesting there. We're waiting. We will have to wait to see all of the details. I suspect this will be a multi-dozen, if not 100-page new agreement. And the workers still need to vote on this to approve it. But the details on this, based on your reporting experience, do you have any sense of what we're going to see in there?
Well, I think the union has certainly achieved some breakthrough, whether it's 100% or not. But I mean, the road is clear that this practice is going to end, and it may end in stages. It may end all at once. We don't know yet. But clearly, there's enough of a breakthrough there that they're recommending acceptance. And I'm sure most people seem to agree that's a good thing.